The air was thick with tension as the two martial arts legends stood face to face in the dimly lit warehouse. The echoes of their footsteps reverberated against the cold concrete floor. This wasn't a fight for show, not a choreographed dance for the big screen. This was real. Cynthia Rothrock, the undisputed queen of martial arts cinema, versus Steven Seagal, the Aikido master known for his bone-crushing joint locks. Two warriors, two styles, one victor. Cynthia Rothrock is a force of nature, a whirlwind of speed, precision, and relentless energy. A five-time world champion in forms and weapons, she's no stranger to combat. Her background in Tang Soo Do, Wushu, and karate makes her a well-rounded striker. Her flexibility is legendary, her kicks delivered with lightning-fast execution and pinpoint accuracy. She can strike from almost any position, adapting seamlessly to her opponent's movements. However, her biggest disadvantage is her size. At 5 feet 3 inches, she lacks the physical strength to overpower someone like Seagal in a direct grappling exchange. Steven Seagal, on the other hand, is an immovable force. A 7th Dan black belt in Aikido, he specializes in redirection and joint locks, using an opponent's force against them. His size, standing at 6 feet 4 inches and weighing well over 200 pounds, gives him a natural advantage in grappling and power. His brutal wrist locks and throws can disable opponents in seconds. However, his biggest weakness is his lack of agility. While his counters are effective against aggressive strikes, he struggles against fast, unpredictable fighters who refuse to engage in direct combat. The battle began with Rothrock circling, light on her feet, her eyes locked on Seagal's centerline. She knew better than to charge in recklessly. Instead, she tested his reaction time with a series of quick, snapping kicks, aimed at his legs and midsection. Seagal remained composed, absorbing the impacts, waiting for the perfect moment to catch her off guard. With a sudden step forward, he lunged, attempting to seize her wrist and pull her into a joint lock. But Rothrock was faster. She pivoted on her heel, twisting out of his grasp and launching a spinning hook kick toward his temple. Seagal barely managed to duck in time, but she was already following up with a rapid-fire combination of strikes to his ribs and solar plexus. He grunted, feeling the sting of her blows, but he wasn't down yet. Adjusting his stance, Seagal advanced methodically, cutting off her movement with well-placed steps. This was his domain, close quarters. He deflected a high kick and, in one smooth motion, grabbed her ankle. With a sharp twist, he sent her tumbling to the ground. Rothrock landed hard but rolled back onto her feet in an instant. Seagal pressed forward, reaching for her arm, but she countered with a lightning-fast sidekick to his knee. He stumbled back, momentarily off balance. The fight raged on, a clash of two distinct philosophies, speed and technique against power and control. Rothrock kept the pressure on, forcing Seagal to defend against a relentless onslaught of strikes. Every time he tried to grab her, she slipped away, countering with vicious kicks and elbows. Slowly, the tide began to turn. Seagal's endurance was waning. His breathing was heavier, his movements slightly slower. Rothrock saw her opening. She faked a high kick, baiting him to raise his guard, then instantly dropped low, sweeping his legs out from under him. He crashed onto his back, and before he could react, she was on him, her knee pressing into his chest, a hammer fist poised above his face. "Yield," she said, breathless but steady. For a moment, silence filled the warehouse. Then, with a reluctant nod, Seagal conceded. The fight was over. Cynthia Rothrock's victory wasn't just about skill, it was about strategy. She knew she couldn't match Seagal's raw power, so she didn't try. Instead, she used her superior speed, agility, and striking precision to wear him down. She never allowed him to dictate the pace of the fight, never let him pull her into his world of joint locks and throws. Her adaptability and relentless pressure ultimately overwhelmed him. Seagal was a formidable opponent, but against a fighter as fast and skilled as Rothrock, his weaknesses became glaring. His reliance on close-quarters combat worked against him when he couldn't catch her. His size, usually an advantage, slowed him down in a battle of endurance. In the end, it was Rothrock's mastery of movement and tactics that sealed his fate. As Rothrock stood victorious, she extended a hand to Seagal, helping him to his feet. There was no animosity, just respect. A fight between warriors, settled with honor. In the annals of martial arts showdowns, this was one for the ages. Cynthia Rothrock, the queen of speed and precision, had triumphed over brute force. The legend continued.